So I read recently uh, that one of the major concerns of young people these days is losing their mind. And as a as a schizophrenic person, I gotta say, it's really not so bad to lose your mind. Charles Bukowski said that some people are so boring they never lose their minds. And I've lived for 10 years with this like diagnosis. Um, and the only thing that sucks about it is the stigmatization uh, that goes on. Um, and I have my own theory about what it is that I'm actually dealing with. Some people hear voices and see apparitions and things like that. I don't experience that, um, but I experience something where in these bursts, I have a realization, and it's a realization that's so big, it it starts to envelop all of the world around you. I don't really know how to explain what this realization is. I guess maybe the best way to phrase it would be enlightenment. But the thing is that it's a enlightenment's like a journey. It's like a never-ending geyser. Enlightenment is like the BP oil spill. It just keeps for a long time. And what psychiatry does is when you get like too enamored in a set of experiences, um, eventually you end up in these are just my experiences, so other people experience it differently, but I always find myself at some point where the police are involved, and uh like on the last time that I got hospitalized, I took a new friend out to a bar on Church Street. He was like 19 and Sikh, and his parents, I guess, thought that I was turning their son gay, when really it's just he had said some homophobic shit. And so I thought the best way to cure him of his homophobia is to normalize him to the gay community. So, we went and had a drink over at Garage or whatever, and then, uh, he was crashing at my place, and I guess his parents thought that I was fucking their kid or something like that, and they called the cops in. And I mean, the thing is, like, my friend was sleeping in the other room, and I was sleeping in, there was two different rooms, and uh, it it was so terrifying when the police came too, because they didn't identify themselves at the door, and they just started pounding on the door like crazy. Uh, and then they busted it open, and then the one cop punched me in the face, and like smashed my face into the wall, and then threw handcuffs on me and gave me a couple shots to the kidneys. Uh, and then they put me in the back of a cop car and drove me to a hospital where a doctor basically had me stripped out of my clothes and injected with a drug while tied up in a bed. And the whole time, like, I wasn't resisting or anything. It was just a bunch of people. It seems like a bunch of people that are just blindly following the procedures written out in a corporate manual. Um, so it seems that there's no logic or reasoning, that they're uh, within their protocols or their decision making tree. uh, Someone being brought to the hospital by the police uh, when when there's nothing wrong with them in a medical sense, that doesn't compute to these people. And the drugs that they give you, they break your brain, So I've been made more retarded, by the forced psychiatric drugging that I've had to deal with. But I'm resilient in my own consciousness. You know, I have my own theories about theory of mind, and I've made videos about those and stuff while in kind of a worked up state. And that's kind of, I think, maybe something you'll notice on this channel is that um, what you get to see with this is kind of the range uh, of emotions that I feel on a daily basis, and just kind of trying to maybe normalize the way schizophrenia is. I mean, it's not anything to be afraid of, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I mean, the only thing that sucks about losing your mind is the way society treats people that are labeled insane. But, you know, if that's your main fear, is losing your mind, uh, then as someone that's, you know, been tortured by this system for 10 years, that's in the process of bringing this system before the International Criminal Court for the crimes against humanity that have been perpetuated, not only against myself, but against thousands of other people. A lot of native youth are being diagnosed with mental illness. And it's because they're talking about their spiritual traditions. And what this basically boils down to is psychiatry is a science-based belief system that negates the existence of God. You know, it's just an instant Nietzschean dismissal of the theory of God. And forget religion, forget churches or anything else like that, but like we exist. And so even if we're a computer simulation, what created the simulation would be God. That would be the author of what is. Now, are we in a simulated universe or are we in a real universe? And I think most people that say that we live in a simulated